Hi guys, it's Carissa. I'm going to try and do a really quick update for you. Forgive me if I keep looking at the ground because I'm looking at my baby monitor. Um, Earlier this week, I started putting Vera down for her naps, and because I had previously been holding her the whole time for every nap, and she's taken really well to it. It's actually been harder on me than it has on her, but I don't know how much longer I have in this nap, so I did want to just make an update for you because I've been posting things a little bit here and there on Snapchat and Instagram, and Good Morning America actually did a story on keto, which you can find if you just look it up on YouTube. But about a week ago, Amy Robach did a story on keto because she's been on it for the last 4 months. And it was really positive, and I had gotten a few messages recently. They kind of come in waves, and I see a pattern of people who reach out to me just to let me know that they've been doing it and they feel great. And my absolute favorite is when people tell me that they are expecting a keto baby or that they had one. So I thought I really should update you guys because this is my main output for my keto information. I have to be really careful about doing this in one take because I won't have time to edit. But now that Vera does go down for naps, and fingers crossed that it stays as great as it's been, I can hopefully do sit down chats with you guys more often, or maybe some get ready with me videos, things like that. So but basically I just had my annual physical with my primary care doctor, and she did a full panel of blood work, and she always does an EKG and takes my weight, and she was really pleased with everything. Since my 6-month follow-up in April, because I always see her see her nurse practitioner in April, and then I see her in October, I'm down 24 pounds, and I gained almost 50 during my pregnancy, so I'm almost back down to my pre-pregnancy weight. I think I have 11 pounds-ish left to lose. So I'm pleased with that. I can tell my body is similar in a lot of ways, but also very different since pregnancy. But I'm not worse off, honestly. And if loose skin is a factor in why you have been putting off starting a weight loss journey, I strongly encourage you to push past that. Yes, I'm terrified to have skin removal surgery in the future, but I would much rather be as healthy as I can be and think about how much happier I might be with my results after the fact, So it's a scary goal to be working towards, but if you don't do things that scare you, every now and then at least, I don't know. I think there's some good in it at least. So, and I'm not a thrill seeker by any means, but I started keto back up in May, I think. March or May. I don't know why I always mix those two up. They make a sandwich with April, which is my birthday, so I always remember they're both M months in the spring. But one of them is when I started keto back up. I'm not super strict about it like before. It just happens to work well for me if I'm really loose about it and just sort of count carbs, and I'm not too strict. I do have occasional carb up days, or what some people would consider cheat meals, even though I don't like that terminology, because I do think it helps my breast milk supply, for one, and also because I'm just realistic about it, and I know that if I don't allow myself to do that every now and then, I could easily just go off the rails and eat however I want to. So, which is sort of what I allowed myself to do the last 10 weeks of my pregnancy. So like 20 to 25-ish of the 50 pounds I gained were in the last 10 weeks of my pregnancy, believe it or not. So, but my blood work was better than ever. My cholesterol looks great. My blood pressure was perfect. It was 120/80, which is really good for me. I am still medicated for blood pressure, but my EKG didn't even show any signs of hypertension, despite having suffered from it for years. My doctor was really, really pleased with where I am right now. And my weight will, hopefully continue to get to a more ideal and healthy range. And I'm just trying to play slow and steady here. It's hard. It's hard when your goal is weight loss, not to just want to jump on the scale every morning and analyze every decision that you make food wise based on what that number is or isn't, or, or what results you hope to see. I wouldn't be telling the truth, though, if I didn't admit that one of the major motivations for me was realizing that um, the holidays are coming up, and Vera's first birthday is coming up, and we will have family photos and things like that. And, this is stuff that I really want to do. I don't want to be one of those mothers who is absent from all the photos and all of the family albums because I feel ashamed about the way I look. And, I'll never probably be 100% happy, but I could definitely be a lot happier with the way I feel about myself and the way I look now. And I remember this aha moment that I had when we took her to her water babies class, her first swimming class. And Mike and I went into the pool area of the high school that I went to, and I was looking at these teenage girls who are running the classes, these high school girls who are running the continuing education classes. And it had, for some reason, never dawned on me, like, wow, I'm going to have to put on a bathing suit and be among people who are, in the best shape of their life or close to it. And just feeling insecure about that around my husband, and just knowing that my daughter someday will be able to form opinions about that. And I don't want her to be ashamed of me. And I'll never look perfect. I know that. And so my best option is to just try as hard as I can, and to teach her that it's about more than what you look like, but that it is important to be, as happy with that as you can, considering, what it's one of those you are what you eat situations. And, you pay for what you get, sort of a thing, if I could throw more cliches at you. But I don't know, it was like those kind of things had never occurred to me. I was so focused on getting here and having a family that I didn't think about, life beyond that point, at least not for me, and at least not for her. So, yes, that's really vain and really shallow, but a major motivation for me to really buckle down was 2 months ago. I scheduled our family photos for 2017 that I hope we can use for our Christmas cards. And I hope that I can look at them and feel proud of the progress I've made up until this point. I have a long way. I could easily, arguably, lose 80 to 100 more pounds, maybe even more than that. I'm pretty sure on a BMI chart for my height, I should be 130 pounds or 120 pounds. I probably never will be, but that just goes to show, even with the progress that I've made so far, I could theoretically do so much more. And I don't want to get hung up on a number on the scale, but it's all about measurable success. So how my clothes feel on me, how, like my mom gave me this beautiful ring that she wore for almost, I think, for like 10 or 11 years. And she told me that someday she would give it to me. And the day she gave it to me on my 35th birthday, it barely fit, but now it fits. Going down a notch on my Fitbit wrist strap, things like that. So weight isn't the only measurable progress that you can have. And I'm trying not to focus on that too much. Another thing that makes it easier for me, and I know that there are some people who can't necessarily relate to this, but I constantly think about the fact, and try not to get too emotional about the fact, that I'm in some of the happiest days of my life right now. And I think there's a lot of weight to that. There's a lot of emotional and heavy weight to that, because usually you look back on times that you didn't realize, maybe you were enjoying yourself, but you didn't realize how much those days would matter to you and how strong those memories you were forming would be, in your history. But I know for a fact that these days are so special and fleeting. So I'm trying to honor them, honor these moments, honor these days and future days by being healthier, and honor my loved ones and give them the best version of me that I can. And I know it sounds really corny, but I look at my daughter, I look at that precious face. I want to give her the best of everything. And material objects don't matter that much. Health and happiness do. And having a healthy and happy mother who feels well enough and active enough to do things with her and care for her, I feel like that's the best gift I could ever give her. So I'm trying to focus on that and remember that when maybe I want to emotionally eat or just kind of say screw it, and I don't know, because I have had those moments too. I think everybody does. So but I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased with where things are. It's so easy to pick apart your success and wish that you were doing better than you are. And I think that that's where a lot of people fail. There are a few people I follow on Instagram, and I really, really like them and I wish them the best. But they'll do a diet, they'll do keto, or they'll try other things, and they get really extreme and really strict, and they're posting their weight, twice a day or, 10 times a week. They're posting pictures of the scale and pictures of their bodies and, oh, I've lost this much, and then it gets to be too much and they hit a wall and then they vanish for several months at a time. And I'm trying really hard not to fall into that kind of trap. I'm not judging them. I understand. I know that how it can be when you feel like you have to, have blinders on and only focus on that and everything that goes into your mouth. But I promise you, I'm not perfect. I had pizza last night for dinner, real pizza. So, and we do that every now and then because that's life. So, but, oh, here's Lucy. Say hi, Lucy. Oh. But I hope you guys are doing well. Please let me know if you have adopted a new lifestyle and how it's treating you. I always like to hear feedback from people and hear about what people have to say. It was a big deal to admit my history with my weight and talk about keto on Facebook. I've been trying to be really private with Facebook these days and keep it, mostly to family and, family I don't see, family that's out of town or out of the country, and old friends. I have a lot of people that I don't talk to socially, but I went to high school with or things like that. And it's embarrassing. It feels shameful to admit that I got to that place, that I let depression take over me, and that I was too stubborn to try other things for so long that my weight just kept ballooning. So I did that, and it felt very freeing, because sometimes I would feel scared, like, oh, are these people going to find my Instagram or find my YouTube? And some people already have, but I just wanted to put it all out there and really be able to take a deep breath and help people and help as many people as I can. That's a lot of why I've done this. If you want some new accounts to follow, I've recently been enjoying Keto Connect, who I gave a second chance. I'm not trying to sound like a jerk, but I watched one of their videos a long time ago, and I just never watched another one. I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't dislike it, but I was just kind of like, oh, okay, that's them. And I sort of moved on from that point and never went back. I don't know why, but I've been really enjoying them. They have a podcast, and I kind of got back into them through Celia, who is with the Motivated Muffins, if you're not familiar. And that's Celia and Cherie. Cherie is doing Weight Watchers, so if you are doing Weight Watchers or if you're interested in that, she has videos on that. And Celia has recently started keto. And for those of you who are very analytical or maybe math-minded. See, I'm sort of on the, what is that, left-brained they consider it? Or is it right-brained? I always forget. It's 50-50, so I'm always going to be wrong when there's a 50-50 option. But, you know, I really love, you know, like the arts and, like I love and I can interpret a lot of things like that, very artsy, but I can't read music and I can't do math. So that's kind of how my brain works, and that's why I can't focus too hard on macros or even like Weight Watchers points made me feel like I was in handcuffs all the time. I just felt like I could barely breathe, and I was, you know, in a tank of water and doing a magic trick apparently. But yeah, I felt really restricted, and that's why I also don't do calorie counting and things like that. I know the closer I get to a goal weight, I will have to focus on that stuff. I've mentioned it before. I might have mentioned it earlier in this video. I don't know, but that's just me being realistic. I know I'll have to be more careful in the future, and I hope to get to that point, you know, someday. And I hope that I'll have the inner motivation to do those things. But I love just seeing it through her eyes, you know, seeing keto through the eyes of someone who's starting fresh. I do kind of miss my early days, because when you first start, especially when you're overweight, especially when you're morbidly obese like I was when I started, you kind of just like pee the weight right off. It's amazing. I remember I would look at the scale every single morning and think, this can't be real life. It was crazy. So I love seeing people go through that journey. And every time I share my story or I share some form of success, I get excited to give people that information. So if you've gotten a message from me recently, or if you reached out to me, please share it with me in any form you can. You know, I highly encourage you to have a social media account, whether it's YouTube and you vlog your food, or you post pictures of your food on Instagram. It's very motivating to, you know, kind of join the community and be involved. So, I don't know. I just wanted to give Celia a little bit of a shout out. And if you go see her and start watching her videos and following her Instagram, and Cherie too, I love her too. Just tell them I sent ya. Tell them Large Marge sent ya. But one thing that I forget sometimes to mention, just because it's just not even on my radar, but it's bad these days, I do want to make sure before I go that I warn you. There are a lot of companies, evil companies, if you ask me, that are seeing the popularity and success of keto, and they are trying to make some money. And they're making products that are just a total ripoff. It's total BS. I will tell you right now, you do not need keto sticks. You do not need to buy those. Those are for diabetics to measure excess ketones in their urine. If you eat less than 20 carbs a day, you are in ketosis. If you want to buy them, they're expensive. They're expensive and they go bad really quickly. But if you want to buy them when you first start, just to pee on them and see some sort of, you know, like color changing result, just so that you can feel, you know, feel something tangible, something measurable that way. I can't discriminate, but that is the exact point of the products that are out there right now that claim to be for keto, supplements, coffees, things like that. You do not have to buy anything like that. Nothing that says keto on it has to be purchased in order for you to have success on this diet. I promise you. I didn't do it. All those products do are they put ketones into your body, excess ketones, for you to flush out. So basically it's something that you will just take and pee out, so that when you use one of those urine sticks, it shows that you are supposedly in ketosis. And you know what? I think that most of these products, at least to my knowledge, are all so new that you don't even know what they're actually doing to your body. So it's not worth it. Ketosis is not difficult to reach. It really isn't. Even if you eat badly, if you just pick right back up where you were before, you can be back in ketosis in 24 hours. Less than 24 hours usually. So don't fall for that. Don't let people try and convince you otherwise. They have very convincing scripts and lots of literature, and you know, people are paid big bucks to try and make this stuff sound much more important than it is. Do not fall for it, please. Please. The only thing that you would need to buy other than whole foods is maybe MCT oil, which is coconut oil. It's a form of coconut oil. And, you know, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's seriously. So don't fall for that. Don't let anybody try and stick you with those things. So, it's a big deal these days. But that's it. I just wanted to, you know, to touch base with you guys. So, as of when I found out I was pregnant, when I conceived in March of 2016, since then, I've gained almost 50 pounds, but I am about 11 pounds away from that. And a lot of my old clothes are starting to fit me again. And I'm starting to feel a lot more like I did at that point, you know. I'm starting to notice some of the similar functions in my body and just the way things looked and felt on me. And I have a lot of energy. I feel good. I have way more energy than a new mom should anyway. And I'm definitely feeling more energetic on less sleep, even though she sleeps good. And I can't complain there. Please don't hate me. She's a pretty good sleeper. So I just I'm in a good place, and I hope that I can keep in touch with you guys, and maybe I'll start doing Keto Bites videos again. I worry that those were repetitive or not very informative, but if you felt otherwise, I guess let me know, and I'll consider doing that again. But I'm at an age now, because I'm 35, I'm at an age now where if I want to have more children, if that's a possibility, because I'm totally happy with where we are, but I would absolutely welcome, at least one more child, and I would like to be at as healthy a weight as possible before that even takes place. So I'm working on that, and if we are blessed with more, then wonderful. And I'm hoping that I can stay keto or stay closer to keto than I did in my pregnancy with Vera. So that's kind of where things are right now, and I'm trying really hard not to cry all the time because she is about to turn 1 in December. It'll be here before we know it, and I'm just loving life right now. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. Everything's great. And today is my mother's birthday. My mom, my wonderful mother, is 60 years old today. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you. Okay, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna upload this before I have a chance to change my mind or forget about it and have this video rot in my phone for 4 months. Okay? Thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon, hopefully.